This is Indio Radio. You're listening to That MMA Show.
This is Jeremy with That MMA Show on Indio Radio and Full Contact Fighter TV. I am here with TUF 17 alum Adam Cella. Now, Adam, there has been some interesting things going on Facebook this week that we had to come and ask about. So I want to talk about this a little bit with this Chris Heatherly beef. Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, basically what has happened is I did a little interview with another network, and they published basically me just saying he's not a tough fight. Now, I'm not going back on what I said. I think I'd beat him 9 times out of 10, and that just goes. Basically, that's just me relying on my team. I got better grapplers, I got better strikers, I got better wrestlers. It is what it is. And plus, I'm a lot bigger than he is. I think his only way to beat me is to take me down, and it's hard to get in on me when I've got probably a 10-plus inch reach advantage. That being said, I've never had a problem with Chris, and him and I have talked about fighting before, and we both agreed that we would fight, but it's a fight that we need to get paid for because it's not an easy fight on my end or his end, and do I think I'd win? Yes. Do I think it'd be a hard win? Yeah. I mean, I think I'd win, but I think it's just it wouldn't be a pushover. So we talked about we both have to get paid for it because where I want to get to, where he wants to get to, you don't take tough fights for little pay. Like big risk, big reward.
So what you're saying, though, is that this kind of was an internet beef that started on something that really didn't mean what you were saying. It was kind of taken out of context.
It was. I stand behind what I said as far as, it not being a super tough fight. I think my words were particularly hard fight. I preluded that with it's not going to be an easy fight, but it's not going to be a particularly hard fight. And, I just reiterate that just goes with my training partners. I got a good team. You look at guys like Ryan Sutton, who's right back there. This dude is a D1 All-American wrestler. I think just going on credentials alone, Chris might have wrestled in junior college or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, he was a good average, wrestler. And I'm just calling it how it is. And, my partners I think are just better than he is.
So what we're saying here, though, is if you want to take this fight, we got to get paid for it.
Yes. I've wanted to fight Chris, really just for a pride issue, just to see who I feel who's the best 170er in the area. Now, do I think him or is it Chris or me? Honestly, it's neither of us. You got guys like Luigi, who he literally just kicked my ass one day ago. He rode. Is his saddle still on me? Because he rode me for an entire round, and I could not get up, and it was no fun. So I think, it's hard to say who the best around is when you've got styles like this. Stand-up wise, I don't think there's a lot of guys who can compete with me. On the ground, there's not a lot of guys who can compete with Luigi. Just sheer heart, there's not a lot of guys who can compete with Chris. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we'd have to set up the fight, and I'm all for it. Let's find a venue. They're talking, an even, right down the middle promoter.
So are you okay with that?
I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as we can make it to where we get paid, we'll see who the better fighter is. You know what I mean? So,
all right, guys. So what that means is we're looking for a neutral ground for this fight.
Yeah, neutral ground would be good. My manager is actually on vacation right now, and it's Jesse Finney. A lot of guys have a problem with his shows. We put on the best shows around. I think everybody said that. We have the best shows. We have the best production. We sell out every show we do. And styles make fights. It's you can go on any show, and there's a 10-second fight, then there's a 5-round war. You know what I mean? It's just a hit and miss game, I would prefer to do it on one of our shows just because the production value is so high. And, from what Little Whispers are saying, we got good TV deals coming maybe in March next year. So, I don't know if I'm going to be fighting in January. Let's shoot for something like March. We'll see what we can do. But, really I just wanted to make sure that nobody thinks I'm disrespecting Chris and saying he's a pushover or anything like that. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
All right, guys. So maybe we'll see this fight in March. We'll bring it to you. We'll talk about it soon. Thank you very much.